Hey guys, welcome to Tech Best. Today we're just going to be having a look at some of the best value Chinese phones that you can get. Now obviously I haven't tested every single phone that's come out of China, but I have had the privilege of being able to test quite a few. The ones that I'm going to show you here are the ones that I think offer some really good value for money. Now I'm not going to go over the specifications of each phone. I will leave details in the description below along with links to my reviews. So the phones that we're covering here will range from about $130 and go up to about $300 US. So we're not talking about expensive phones here, they're very affordable. Size wise we're going from 5 inches up to 6.44 inches. So depending on your needs and your budget, there should hopefully be a phone in here that would suit your needs if you are looking to purchase one. Now also be aware that the prices that I mentioned in this video are accurate at the time of filming, but being Chinese phones they do fluctuate and they can change rapidly, so just keep that in mind. So anyway, let's just crack into it. So let's start off with the cheapest phone first. This is the Ulefone Gemini. So this phone here costs about $130 US, and the reason I say this is a good value buy is because, I'll just grab another phone here. This is another phone that costs $130, and this is the kind of phone that you'd expect to get for that kind of money. This is the Yuhan's H5000. It's thick, it's made out of plastic, it has a terrible camera, and the display is a 720p display, whereas the Gemini you will get a 5.5 inch 1080p IPS display. It's slim, it's made out of metal, has dual cameras on the back that do a pretty decent job. So for $130 I think it's a very good value phone. And if we have a look here, this is the Umi Digi Z Pro, which costs a lot more, and styling wise they look very similar. Both are slim, both have metal bodies, both have dual cameras. If we grab this other phone, yeah, big difference there. So if you want an expensive looking phone for not a lot of money, the Ulefone Gemini could be a goer for you. Okay, next up are these two phones. We have the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4X. So both of these phones represent some really good value for money. The cost on these, you're looking about $180, maybe $200 US. You can pay a little bit more for a version of this which comes with more memory, more RAM, more storage. But otherwise, these two phones are solid, really good construction, metal bodies, fantastic fingerprint scanners, decent cameras too. They even do pretty well at low light as well. Both have 1080p IPS displays, which are just fantastic. We get a 5 inch one here and a 5.5 inch one over here. They both have IR blasters on the top. Performance on these two phones is also solid, but make sure you get the versions with the Snapdragon 625. The standout feature on these two phones though is the battery life. Both of them have 4,100 milliamp hour batteries, and they're not too thick. If I grab another phone here, this is the, what is this? This is the Ulefone Power 2. It has a gigantic 6,050 milliamp hour battery. The reason I'm showing you this is because just to put into perspective how good the battery life on these two phones are. So from a normal phone you'd expect to get about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time. This phone here with its gigantic battery will get you about 9 hours of screen on time. These two phones though, this one here you can expect to get about 18 hours of screen on time, and this one here you can expect to get about 20 hours of screen on time. So whatever magic Xiaomi are using, it's working on these two phones. They're both very energy efficient phones. Okay, next up is performance. So this is the Zook Z2, and we have here the Echo Le Max 2. Now I have done a review comparing these two. $180 to $190 for this phone here, $190 to $200 for this phone here. We get a Quad HD display on this phone though, that's fantastic. But performance wise, Snapdragon 820s with 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of onboard storage. We're talking about Samsung Galaxy S7 levels of performance for under $200. There are some pros and cons on these two phones. For example, this one here, the camera is not particularly good. This one here is known for having a dodgy fingerprint scanner. But if you just need performance, then you should definitely check out these two phones. Now one thing to note is that Lenovo, who is the parent company to Zook, have actually officially now killed off the Zook branding. So there are no more Zook phones being manufactured. You can't get this phone in black anymore, so it's only available in white, and once the stock runs out, that will be it. So it won't last much longer. This phone here you can also pay a bit more to get a version with 6 gigs of RAM and up to 128 gigs of storage. The big negative on here though, lack of a 3.5mm headphone jack. But if you get the version that I got, which is the X829 version, it does come with an adapter so that you can plug in your headphones. It also comes with USB Type-C earbuds. Now if you're not into using adapters, the other option is to go with Bluetooth earbuds. For some affordable pairs, these are the ones that I can recommend. These are the Syllable D900 minis if you're after some truly wireless ones. Battery life on this is about 2 hours before you need to pop them in the case to recharge. They cost less than $30. Another pair here that costs less than $30, the Meizu EP51s. Super comfortable. Battery life about 6 to 6.5 hours. They're sweat proof, and the sound quality on these are surprisingly well balanced. And these ones here are the TrebLab RF100s. These cost about $40 US. They are bulkier and not as comfortable as these, but the benefit of these is that you get 9 hours of battery life. They're also IPX6 waterproof rated, and the sound quality is also very good, especially the bass is very deep. This is the Xiaomi Mi Max. So if you're into big phones, then this is the one that you need to check out. 6.44-inch display on here. This is the Zook Z2, just to give you an idea of the size difference. So yeah, giant phone. If you're into big phones, this is the one to go for. You can get it in a variety of specifications. Pricing will range from about $200 up to about $280 US, depending on the specifications. So the top end model will have a Snapdragon 652, which is a solid upper mid-range processor. Up to 4 gigs of RAM and up to 128 gigs of storage. Has a giant 4,850 milliamp hour battery in there. A very good battery life on this as well. Fantastic build quality. Okay, this is the Xiaomi Mi 5S, which is a fantastic phone. Good screen, good build quality. The most powerful phone here with a Snapdragon 821. However, to get it under $300, you're looking at the version that comes with 3 gigs of RAM. There is a version, this one like this one here, which comes with 4 gigs of RAM. However, that costs more than $300. If you're doing a lot of app switching, then you will want some more RAM, but for most people, 3 gigs should be enough. The reason I say this is a good phone is because it comes with the Sony IMX378 image sensor, which is the best camera sensor out of all of these phones. So if you're into photography, this is the one to get. Under $300, you're not going to find a better camera phone than this. It also comes with a 4 megapixel ultra pixel selfie camera, which does a really good job for selfie photos. Another phone that you could look at for under $300 if you need high-end performance is the Zook Z2 Pro. So it's the older brother of this one. So that has a 5.2-inch AMOLED display. It comes with 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage and a Snapdragon 820. Okay, some honorable mentions. We have here the Umi Digi Z Pro, and we have the Umi Z. Now, I can't wholeheartedly recommend these two phones, and the main reason for that is because there does seem to be an issue with their quality control. I haven't had any issue with my two phones, but there does seem to be a lot of users who are suffering from issues. So we're getting issues like buggy software, or is this thing turned on? I don't think it might be flat. Buggy software, or dodgy screens, things like that. A couple of other issues, but check out my videos on these if you want to know more. They are solid phones if you can get one that doesn't have issues. The front-facing cameras are fantastic. We're talking 16 megapixel cameras with front-facing LEDs. So if you're into taking a lot of selfies, then these two phones could be a good option. Okay guys, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions or questions, you know what to do. Drop them in the comments below. And if you know of any other phones that you think are really good value for money, let me know. I'll see if I can get them in for a review and maybe include them in the next video. Hey, take care. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.